All right, so your map application should load and go to an initial location as far as what you've loaded in here, with latitude and longitude values and specific locations that you wanted. Um, and the flow goes from initializing the map. From there, that method goes to the onMap ready callback, and that is where it goes to the specific location. And then it also zooms in. In addition, you have a search bar that's loaded on top, and we're using the go-to location to activate that as well. All right. So the next step is we want to add the ability to select what type of map that we are looking at. All right. So in the notes, it's under changing the map types. There's a few steps we need to do along the way, but it's all pretty easy. So the first thing you want to make sure that you have is in your Android manifest XML file. Again, that's in the manifest folder under app. In that area, you want to make sure that you have this line, either just delete this line or comment it out like I have shown here. The standard app theme with no action bar does not give you the bar on the top with your title and the menu button. All right, so we want to delete that so that we can access the menu, or you can comment it out. So that's the first step. The second step is we need to modify our main menu. By default, it just goes to settings, which really doesn't lead to anything. You are supposed to kind of code the menu later. So what I'd like you to do is basically replace the current menu you have with what is listed here in the notes. So you're going to go ahead and copy what I've given you, and you need to find the menu, which in this case is in the res folder. Under the layout, you have menu. Just go ahead and double click on menu underscore main. You want to select everything and go ahead and paste it in there. All right. So select it all and paste it in. When you do that, you're going to have to fix some of these strings so that it'll update your strings.xml values. So you're going to do that the same way. You'll double click on it. You'll click on it'll be a red error, and you want to assign the values. The values that you should assign are listed as the names here. So normal, satellite, terrain, and hybrid. And I listed them with an uppercase. All right. Oh, and also make sure you don't forget the none value. All right. So you have your menu all set. The last step is you need to go to the Java class and program the menu options. So when you select it, it will set the map to that specific type. All right. So let's take a look at that. You're going to basically copy this entire on options item selected method. Make sure you get the beginning and ending curly brace with that. Copy it, and I'm placing it right under my on create option menu method, which you should have both of these already in your Java file. All right. So with this method, the code I've given you for the logic is using a switch case. What happens when you select an item, this is a built-in method with Android apps. The item gets passed in, and there's an ID. The first item is 0, second item is 1, and so on. And the IDs have different types that are listed on there. So if you see map type none, you would look in your main menu and you'd see map type none here listed as well. All right, so it does have a text value, but that's kind of how it works. So the ID is being passed, and the way a switch works is it's like an if statement. So the ID gets passed here, and in these different cases, if it's true, you can execute a certain bit of code. So it's very similar to if ID were to equal map type none, then load the map that doesn't have anything. Oh, this, by the way, will give you a blank screen. All right, so Um, the normal map would give you just a normal looking map. You have satellite, terrain, and hybrid map. All right, so these are all the possible types. When you see a break, that stops the case. You want to make sure you have that. The way a switch case would work without that break would, if this is true, it would run all cases below that until it reached a break. That's kind of interesting. You only need one case to be true for it to kind of cascade down through a switch. So go ahead and copy that. You may have to fix these names, but I think actually, well, actually you will, I believe, have to fix some of these. And those are going to be gone into values called IDs. So these ID values will go into the IDs.xml folder or file. When you fix the errors, the first option there will create this folder actually, and you want to name them appropriately: none, normal, satellite, terrain, and hybrid, just like you did with the menu. All right, and that's pretty much it. You want to save it and test it. When you're saving, sometimes if you lose connection, go ahead and choose sync project to Gradle files. It'll go through, sync it, test it out, and you should have everything working great.